Have you ever wondered what it feels like to be called upon by God Himself? Picture this: a man named Abram, living in his homeland, suddenly hears the voice of God. The divine call was clear and compelling. "Leave your country, your people, and your father's household and go to the land I will show you." God's voice echoed with a promise that Abram would be made into a great nation, that his name would be renowned, and those who bless him would themselves be blessed. Abram, later known as Abraham, was not one to question. His faith was palpable, his obedience immediate. With a heart full of trust in God's word, he packed his belongings and set his sights on a new land, the land of Canaan. But Abraham's journey was not a solitary one. He was accompanied by his nephew Lot, setting the stage for an interesting turn of events. Can you imagine parting ways with a loved one for the greater good? As Abraham's and Lot's clans grew, so did their livestock. Before long, the land they shared couldn't sustain both their flocks. The struggle for resources sparked tension between their herdsmen, threatening to sever the familial ties. But Abraham, a man of faith and generosity, took it upon himself to defuse the situation. He proposed a solution to Lot, a choice of any part of the land. A testament to his faith, Abraham believed in the promise of God that he would provide, no matter the circumstances. The decision was now in Lot's hands. Drawn to the lush, fertile plains of Jordan, Lot made his choice. It was a decision that would lead to their separation, a parting of ways that was both bitter and necessary. Yet it was a choice that Abraham accepted with grace, an act of selflessness for the greater good of their clans. Though they parted ways, their stories were far from over. What profound lessons can we glean from Abraham and Lot's journey? From the outset, we see God calling Abraham to uproot his life and journey to an unknown land. This is a significant event, highlighting the virtue of obedience. Abraham, against all odds, listened to God's call and followed. He had the faith to believe in the unseen, to trust in God's plan. Now let's consider the turning point when Abraham and Lot decided to part ways. Abraham, in his generosity, gave Lot the first choice of land. This act of selflessness paints a picture of a man who trusted God's promise over his own interests. Then we see the stark contrast in choices made by Abraham and Lot. Lot chose the fertile plains of Jordan, seemingly prosperous but ultimately doomed, while Abraham chose what was left, a decision that led to God's blessings. In comparing their choices, we can see the consequences of prioritizing worldly gains over spiritual ones. Lot's choice led him to disaster, while Abraham's faith and patience led to blessings and the fulfillment of God's promise. In the end, it was Abraham's unwavering faith and obedience that stood the test of time, teaching us the timeless virtues of patience, trust, and selflessness.